Hi everyone, I'm True Soul, and this is a review of the Marvel Legends Retro Rhino and Symbiote Spider-Man. Guys, I cannot tell you how long I've been waiting. Well, not for the Rhino. I haven't been waiting for him for too long. It's this guy right over here that I've been waiting for the longest time. I can't even, it's been so long, I can't even remember exactly when I pre-ordered him. I pre-ordered him from Big Bad Toy Store, so you probably know where this is going. And on like all the other websites, he was like either selling out or, secondary retailers were already getting him and then having him at insane prices. And in the past, I've had to cancel pre-orders from Big Bad Toy Store because they just took so long. But if I had canceled my pre-order, I would have had to buy Symbiote Spider-Man from eBay or something for like that inflated secondary retailer price. So I said, you know what, I'm just gonna hold on and hopefully eventually Big Bad Toy Store will send me my Spider-Man, and they did. So good job, Big Bad Toy Store. Now I'm gonna do a quick review on both of these guys, and then we're going to move them over to my Spider-Man shelf. For those of you who have seen that, we're going to move them over to my Spider-Man shelf with the rest of my figures and see how they look. So let's go ahead and do the Rhino first. And here he is, guys. Rhino in all of his massive bulky glory, guys. Just from looking at this Rhino, he looks almost the same size, if not a little bit bigger than the Marvel Legends thing that I have, but not quite as big as the 80th anniversary Hulk action figure that I have. I don't have any action figure that's as big as that one. But I really dig the design for the Rhino. I just now noticed his little on his costume, you can see the little Rhino eyes, which I don't really pay a whole lot of attention to that when looking at the Rhino costume. Most of the time they just use some type of gray spandexy looking thing. But what I like about this action figure is you can see that the suit itself has like a lot of texture on it, so it's not just like run-of-the-mill spandex. It's almost like actual rough Rhino skin, so that's kind of cool. Now, since he is a big bulkier figure, of course his articulation is going to be a little hindered, but that's not too much of a problem, since when it comes to like the bigger bulkier characters, I don't really buy them so much for articulation. But just for the fun of it, let's go ahead and go through his articulation. Now it looks like, oh, never mind. At first I thought that his head and his neck were like a separate piece, but actually his head and his neck are all the same piece, and he has a ball joint that goes into the torso. Can't quite get 360 on it because his back meat's so muscly. And he can't really look up that much either, or down, but he does have this hinge that can kind of help you out with that when posing him. He has a swivel up in the upper arm and single joints, as well as a swivel down here at the wrist and a hinge. Also has a swivel in the torso, so it separates the leg piece from the chest piece. Interesting swivel right here, and it looks like a ball joint. A single jointed bend, and that's actually a pretty decent bend, although as you can see it does kind of break up the sculpt a little bit. Well, a lot of it, if I'm being totally honest with you. And of course has a hinge in the foot with that good old ankle pivot. I am really glad that I got this Rhino, guys. I'm doing a pretty good job at filling out my Spider-Man villains, which you'll see all the ones that I have when I put this big guy on the shelf. Now, the Rhino only comes with one accessory, which is an alternate head. Let me see if I can find that for you guys real quick. Here we go. Comes with this closed mouth head. That's a pretty nice accessory for the Rhino. And guys, I feel kind of dumb because for some reason I totally didn't even notice he also had these grip hands. I noticed that the peg to put them into his wrist looked abnormally small and stubby. So just out of curiosity, I'm gonna pop one off and see how it looks. I also put it in there. I didn't really hear a little pop, but it feels securely in there. So now he can grab Spider-Man and crush him. Now that we're done with Rhino, let's go ahead and get to my long-awaited Symbiote Spider-Man. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, Symbiote Spider-Man, or Symbiote Spider-Man. It kind of depends on who you ask, although I heard the correct pronunciation is symbiote, no matter what. Anyway, I'm really digging this sleek black look for Spider-Man. One of my favorite appearances for Spider-Man, especially back when I watched the animated series. That was a fun little arc when Spider-Man had on the symbiote.
You can't escape me! I'll chase you to the ends of the earth!
Now I believe that this scope that we're seeing is the same scope from the Marvel Legends Retro Spider-Man. So just to be sure that it is in fact the same exact scope, we're gonna go get the other Spider-Man and compare the two. Alright guys, I'm back and here is the Retro Marvel Legends Spider-Man. And they appear to be the exact same scope. That same slimness, the butterfly joints, everything. For the most part, it looks like they use the same scope, which makes sense because they're both from the retro line, and this is technically just the symbiote version of this, so it makes sense to have them both have the same scope. Now, one thing that I was really excited about whenever they announced this guy is actually two very simple but very appreciated accessories that he comes with. I'm going to show you those accessories right now. Now, Symbiote Spider-Man, yes, he does come with two web-slinging hands, or I call them twipping hands. But Symbiote Spider-Man also comes with two other sets of hands that I think every Spider-Man should come with. Open hands, or what I like to call wall crawling hands, because everyone knows Spider-Man likes to crawl up walls, and it's been very annoying that Hasbro has just kept releasing Spider-Man action figures that don't have open wall crawling hands. So thank you Hasbro for including that with this Spider-Man. In fact, I'm going to put these hands on him right now and we can see how they look. And there you go. Wall crawling hands for Spider-Man. Can't really put him in a wall crawling pose, actually crawling on a wall. At least not right now, not the way I usually do it, because it requires a little camera magic / editing. But really glad that they decided to add open hands to this Symbiote Spider-Man. And now, with this Symbiote Spider-Man, I believe this is my 4th Spider-Man that I have for my collection. They announced that they were making a bunch of other Spider-Man, but I've been prioritizing Star Wars and Fortnite lately, so I've been drastically slowing down on the Marvel side, only getting what I think are essential characters for my collection. But really glad to finally have the Symbiote Spider-Man. And now I'm going to move Symbiote Spider-Man and Rhino over to my Spider-Man shelf. And for those of you who haven't seen my Spider-Man shelf, you're about to see it now for the first time. So let's go ahead and head on over there. And ladies and gentlemen, here we are over by my Spider-Man display shelf. Now there are a couple of other Marvel figures in the back. I mostly put those there because I didn't have room on my other Marvel shelf, and I didn't want to put them up in storage because I need them for various stop motion purposes. So I just put them in the back there so we can focus on the primary figures, the Marvel figures. We got Rhino in the back there with his fellow Spider-Man villains. I'm supposed to be getting a Doc Ock at some point. It comes in a 2-pack with Silk, so I'm supposed to be getting that at some point. And then we'll have, I guess, we'll have a version, I suppose, of the Sinister Six. I can never remember who all the official members of the Sinister Six were, but I mean, hey, if you just grab 6 Spider-Man villains, that's pretty sinister, so there you go. And over here, a little bit more toward the center, I have Symbiote Spider-Man standing right behind the regular Spider-Man, kind of like his evil shadow, you could say. So, really like how my Spider-Man shelf is coming together. Really need to start showing some more love to my X-Men shelf. I should be having some more figures coming soon. Whenever the Storm releases, I'm going to do a review on her and then add her to the shelf. So, thumbs up if you guys would like to see that. And before I start rambling, I'm going to go ahead and end the video right here, guys. Comment down below if you have the Rhino or the Symbiote Spider-Man. What do you think about them? Do you like them? Do you not like them? And be sure to follow me on my Instagram, as you'll stay updated whenever I plan to upload a video, as well as see exclusive photos like of Symbiote Spider-Man that you'll not see in my videos. Alright guys, until then, be sure to like, subscribe, and go to my channel to check out other videos. Catch you later.